Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening. How you doing?
How are we doing,
Yeah.
everyone? Got two people in the chat. Hello, two people. Hello,
A lot of
HK.
people. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
All two people, probably me and you. Welcome to the discussion tonight, which is about cults.
Welcome, everyone, to another discussion. Sorry about the hold up with all the cancellations, but we're back for our discussions, and today we're talking about cults.
We I suppose we're in one cult now, the YouTube cult.
The YouTube cult, yeah. The cult algorithm hasn't catched on. Yeah, so, yeah. There's a lot of I don't know. Hello, Bumblebee T.
Good evening. Good evening.
There's a crackle on the microphone. Yeah, Age, you got a bit of a crackle on your microphone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a bit weird. Let me try. Hello.
Yeah, man. So this is not a usual live stream at the piano or at a protest. It's a discussion. And today's discussion is about cults. Where's the poster? Let's bring up the poster. So we've got 4 bullet points that we're gonna
Address.
talk about today. Yeah. We're gonna go through the history of cults, infamous cult leaders, names of cults, and cult characteristics. So tell us, Abe, oh well, before we
The
you
register.
answer, yeah, the register. To do this evening's register, put 1 in the chat if you bash the like button, and
Good evening over in
I'll
Spain.
give you a shout. Hello, Bumblebee. Hello, Deborah. Yes, Age is in the chat as well. Make sure everyone's behaving themselves in the chat.
D-Wit is in the house.
Oh, we got D-Wit. Hello, D-Wit. I think that's the register done now.
More people will come later on, I suppose. It's a bit early. It's a bit early in the YouTube world, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, Sunday today.
We haven't done one for a few months. We haven't done one this year. It's the first one this year.
We have. This is the first discussion. It's the 33rd discussion overall.
Yeah, number 33.
The 33rd discussion, and we're talking about cults. Yeah.
Apparently, the oldest known cult was, I mean, someone could correct me, but the oldest known cult was the Dodecanese and can be dated back to the end of the 10th and 9th century BC, throughout the first millennium as well. I don't know. It's possible.
What are they
I
called?
reckon cults have been around since humanity's been around, isn't it? It's one of them things.
Worship.
The Dodecanese. Don't know where that was. Maybe it was something around like the ancient Greek era. There's probably a lot of cults around then. But then cult characteristics, we'll have to go into that in a bit. What actually a cult is, what would you define as a cult? Could be a number of meanings of a cult. Like obviously cults, some are like really bad and some are just not at all, really. I don't know. We shall name a few.
Yeah.
What do you know about the history of cults? Any?
I know it first appeared in the English dictionary in 1617, and
Right.
it derived from the French word "culti." I don't know how to say it in French, but I'm pronouncing in English "culti," meaning worship, and they got it from Latin. The Latin word cultus, which
Cultists.
meant care, cultivation, or worship.
Okay.
So do you think that
do you think what?
the English putting it into the dictionary in 1617, do you think the cultism era started in the British history? Oh no, they were
No,
longer.
no, they were
Masonry,
around thousands of years before then.
yeah,
Yeah,
Masonry was longer than that.
they would have just like defined it and studied it in the 17, 18, 1900s, I suppose.
Deborah says the cult now is the killing machine. Which cult is that? Capitalism. Is that a cult? Is all of these words cults, isms?
Isms and schisms. Is religion a cult?
Well, I got some notes here, and it says the Church of Scientology is a cult. So
Yeah.
if Church of Scientology is a religion and they're classed as a cult, then does that mean then all religions are cults?
Exactly. Yeah. Why would that not be? Scientology is just is like a really bad version and extreme cult, isn't it? Really, I suppose. And there's even worse ones than Scientology. But how come that other religions get away with not being called a cult? How do they get away with it? I don't know.
Well, I was reading up on the internet that cult these days has more of a bad meaning than anything else. It comes across as bad and evil being in a cult. Uh, Maybe that's why religions are not classing themselves as cults and just I don't know, just a group or something, followers of this followers. not cultists. Is Mormon a cult?
I don't really know too much about Mormonism, but I'd say it's a very light cult. Maybe someone could tell me different. I mean, I suppose everyone's perception of cults are different. Maybe, and is it group mentality, or is it just a single individual, and then individuals follow that individual? It's a tough one, isn't it? So is it just the problem with the person who started it all up? Deborah Hart says science is a cult. I don't know. Possibly. I'd say that's just humans are examining what's out there in nature. And then you have like big multinational corporations who control the narrative when it comes to science, I suppose.
Look,
is that a cult?
The USA's National Academy for Science supports the view that science and religion are independent. Science and religion are based on different aspects of human experience. In science, explanations must be based on evidence drawn from examining the natural world.
Yeah. So it's like independent, isn't it? Basically. Of itself.
Like science doesn't have the processes to prove or disprove the existence of God. In 2020, people followed the science. Yes. Yes, they did, didn't it? Yeah. They didn't do it in God's name, did it? With,
I wouldn't say they followed the science. They followed the narrative that the Conservative government pushed. The science was independent of itself, whether it was like what they were pushing, whether that was real or not. I agree to think that a lot of it was bollocks, and it was all to do with corporations and making money. But it wasn't really science, I suppose. Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing, but
yeah. But do you class science as a cult?
I suppose you could say there's different cults within the scientific study. Like you got flat earthers, you've got people that believe, I don't know, off the top of my head, flat earthers. Yeah, that's one example. They believe a certain scientific study, I suppose. Some people believe in quantum physics or I don't know. There's different studies of science. Science is evolving thing as more evidence comes in. In 2020, the governments were demanding yes/no answers from scientists, so a lot of guesswork was used. Yeah, a lot of guesswork. of money to be made.
Matt says, well, science is an evolving thing. As more evidence comes in. In 2020, the government were demanding yes/no answers from scientists. So a lot of guesswork was used as they had to react in a fast way. Yes, exactly. That is true. The government doesn't know what they're doing. That's why they've got a health department that should know what they're doing, and the climate department, and the disease department, natural disasters. The prime minister was like, or the president was like, health department, what's going on? Why is everyone dying? And then the health department is like, well, there's a pandemic, sir. There's a thing called COVID-19 spreading everywhere, killing everyone.
There's another one. Was Brexit a cult? Yeah, definitely. You know, it had.
Brexit.
Suppose you had two factions going at each other.
Brexit happened 21st January 2020 at 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. GMT. So there was a referendum in 2016. Wow. Yeah.
Both sides had cult leaders.
What can you call Masonic like Masonic Brigade a cult?
Well, I suppose what is a cult? Characteristics. You could say it's like a group which is typically led by, I don't know, a self-appointed leader who controls its members. Maybe, yeah, Freemasonry is a bit like that. They have devotion to a set of beliefs and practices which are considered deviant to the outside norms of society. So yeah, you could say Freemasonry is deemed as a cult, but is it a cult? I don't know, probably.
Well,
it's what you believe a cult is, I suppose.
you can also say, like cult characteristics. What do you need to be classed as a cult? You know, you need a man in charge. You need number one. You need the God. You know, so the God is the prime minister, and his followers and his disciples. You know, below him, and everyone that does his shit. Everybody votes for him, you know, he gets people's votes, you know, he goes and says his speeches, and he announces what he's planning on doing if he gets voted in. he's going to be doing this and he's going to be doing that, or she's going to be doing this, or this gender neutral person is going to be doing this and that, or they, them are going to do this and do that, and this alien is going to do that and do this, you know. But they end up not doing what they do or what they say they're going to do most of the time. It's like a cult, you know. They say a billion-year contract, but once you die, well, is that it then? There hasn't been no evidence that a woman has lived for 1 billion years.
I suppose cult leaders are like convincing, aren't they? And they brainwash their sort of members into whatever the beliefs are.
It's like you say this, so you're a lefty. You say that, so you're a righty. You say this, you're a Democrat, socialist, whatever, you know. Labeling you as a cultist just because you're saying what you're saying.
Yeah. People's beliefs, innit? So how do things not become a cult, I suppose? Is it like the whole world accepts it? Yeah, that's not a cult. We kind of like just decide without saying it's accepted.
Well, I've got here on my notes a good quote. Let me read it out. The International Peace Mission Movement. This is what this quote is called. The International Peace Mission Movement. And they all follow Father Divine. Father Divine was worshipped by his followers as a god. Everyone is treated equal in the eyes of God. So in the eyes of Father Divine, everyone is treated equal. He was preaching against sexism and racism during the Great Depression in the 1930s in America. Yeah, so that sounds good, doesn't it? Against sexism and racism.
And then Bumblebee T has raised a good point. Is the Amish a cult, or is it a way of life? Because like a lot of these, you know, most of the Amish people, they really like living the Amish way.
Yeah.
And they grow up. Some of them rebel it and they go off into the world, and then most of them come back because they just like that way of life. So would you say that's a cult? And I'm sure we all like, there's something out there we all like. Is music a cult? It may like, I don't know, relax us and take the edge off the day, but I don't know. Is money a cult?
I don't know, you know.
Everything. Cults don't allow questioning or dissent, and it triggers cognitive dissonance response. Cognitive dissonant response.
Yeah, like when I was working in Lidl's as a cashier, I served a preacher, a priest, imam, and a Jamaican priest. So three different priests, different religions, you know, three of them. So I serve them all, and I'll ask them the questions that can't be asked because they follow the book and the book only. So when I ask these questions, like one of these questions were, I asked all three of the preachers as well, the imam, the whatever African one, where did your God come from? And they all said exactly the same thing. They could only say what was said, the teachings in the book, and that's it. You know, they can't be hypothetical. They can't say anything against their followings. You know, so,
Yeah. I don't know.
so
For me, that's not enough. A book.
yeah, a book. A book
Yeah.
is enough to convince them. You know.
I need something a bit more. Like, who wrote the book? When was the book written? You know, there's hundreds of questions after that. Like,
Yeah. Bumblebee's T says Amish, I believe, when they're deemed responsible enough, they're told to leave the Amish community and explore life. And like Cage said, many return after about 2 years, as it's a way of life.
Cage? Is Cage and the Amish? Famous cult leaders, do you know any? I know a few.
Famous cult leader. I said it. I didn't mention it to you. You said you didn't know.
I
Does
know a
it
few,
anyone?
like Osho. Osho was one. He was quite funny. But
Osho.
they took over a whole, like, fucking village or town, didn't they? Bought loads of land and they had machine guns and everything. This is back in the 70s. Yeah. And then the federal police came in, took all the guns off them, evicted them, got them out. There's a series on Netflix. Whole series, it's quite good.
Oh yeah. There's you know the infamous cult leader Jim Jones.
Yeah.
In 2023, what's his name now? The actor. Oh yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio said he was going to play him in a movie. Yeah, so haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen anything yet. So they're starting to make films about all of these cultists. Yeah, that's
You
the
had
world.
Waco. I remember
Wait,
Waco as a kid. Yeah.
oh, what
Where
did
they
he do?
set
What was
fire
he? Oh, oh no.
and a lot of people died, and the federal police went in again. I think it was the feds. Was it the feds? Or just the local sheriffs? I can't remember.
What about? Do you know any cult leaders that that committed like mass suicides within in their followings?
Yeah, I think that one of them was Waco. Not sure. Maybe there was a few. Yeah, there's quite a few of that. We'd need Miss J on. She'd know. But you have people like the Children of God, the People's Temple. That's who you was going on. Oh, Jim Jones, yeah, People's Temple.
Yeah, Jim Jones ordered hundreds of his followers to kill themselves as a revolutionary act.
909 people. Yeah. Dead. Crazy.
The leader of the People's Temple religious group and for the Johnston Massacre. He was famous for the Johnston Massacre.
Scary shit. Huh?
Mass murder suicide of more than 900 members. How did they all commit suicide?
I'm not sure. Probably poison.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they poisoned themselves with what
I know they used to do a lot of mock suicides, didn't they? Like, and then one day they did the real thing.
They drank cyanide.
300 with children. Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of children. In a lot of, I was reading a lot today, and a lot of the suicidal and massacres and stuff like that, and the murders that happen within cults, it's mostly on children.
Yeah.
The children number is high compared to the adult number. Sacrifices, all of that sort of stuff within the cult.
Deep.
More children than adults, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Another famous cult leader. Does anybody know? I would say the first name. Does anybody know the second name? It starts Marshall.
Oh, shit, man.
He was the co-leader of the Heaven's Gate cult. Marshall, it's a fruit and a color.
Orange?
And a color.
Orange.
Oh, fruit and an orange. Yeah, you can use that. Yeah. No. Apple white.
Apple white.
Marshall Applewhite, co-leader of the Heaven's Gate cult, which ended with a mass suicide in 1997. Founded in 1947, led by Bonnie Nettles and Marshall Applewhite. Yeah, so
Aliser Crowley, there you go. There's one of the most famous.
That's it. Got it. Applewhite. Aliser Crowley. What did he do? Age case. Or
He
Tokyo
was the
Explore.
leader of the Hermetic. What was it called? The Dawn of the Hermetic. Oh man. Right, I've got to Google that. It's fucking shameful.
Yes.
I forget the actual name.
I've got Google in front of me. I completely forgot.
Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. That was it. It was really there.
Alister Crowley was an
For the
English
Rosicrucians, yeah.
philosopher, poet, painter, magician, novelist, mountaineer. He was the founder of the religion of Thelema. Is that how you say it? Thelema.
Thelema.
Thelema. Felema. He founded the religion of Felema, identifying himself as a prophet, entrusted with guiding humanity into the Aeon of Horus in the early 20th century. Wow. Wow.
L. Ron
Church
Hubbard as well. He was the one who invented Scientology. Google what I said above. It will be 3 mins of time. Church leaders. Another cult sits on the throne.
The Society, so Deborah Hart, the Society of King Charles, the Martyr, is an Anglican devotional society dedicated to the cult of Saint Charles the Martyr, a title of Charles I of England, 1600 to 1649, is a member of the Catholic Societies of the Church of England, an Anglo-Catholic umbrella group.
Not Catholic.
An Anglo-Catholic.
Yeah, it's another cult. Madame Blavatsky. I don't know who that is. Madame Blavatsky. Russian. American mystic and author of the Theological Society in 1875.
I got here on my notes, Soko Asahara. He was the masterminded a deadly attack on Japan's subway system on March 20th, 1995, killing 13 people, injuring 54, and unsettling hundreds more.
Was it ricin? Oh no, was it a bomb? Can't remember now. I'm sure he used ricin.
Oh, no, I didn't write that part down. It was an attack, a deadly attack on Japan's subway system.
It's like a biological weapon, in it, ricin.
Oh wow, really? Where did he get his hands on that?
Fuck knows. Oh no, they used sarin in that attack.
Oh, yeah, you said you knew this one. Bhagwan Shri Janesh. What did he do?
Osho, he was the one that he bought loads of land in America, and then he got all of his followers to get involved in the local government and take over the local council. So they basically ran the area, and then they started getting machine guns, and yeah, just thousands and thousands of people were coming to this place, and it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, shit. And
then I think they lost the local government or something. They lost the local council election, and they ended up poisoning everyone in the town, purposely, with food. They poisoned
Oh,
people. So then the
gosh.
federal government stepped in and like eventually got rid of it all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. But he spent like millions on land, cars, food, like clothes. It was crazy. He just had millions and millions of pounds, like all his fucking followers are.
I think we should make our own cult. Have you guys ever heard of the
Evening.
Branch Davidians?
We've got Cage here. Hello, Cage.
What's up, everybody?
You're on
The
the
Branch
panel.
Davidians. I've heard you mention it before, but no, not other really.
Yeah, Koresh, whatever. You haven't heard of the Branch Davidians? The ATF burnt them alive, like the children and everything. You hear about that one?
No. Right.
Yeah, there's like a siege, like over a week siege. Like they made their own thing, made their own fucking whatever. They had their own idea, right? A cult, a culture. It's a culture. It's like anything else, but they made their own thing. And yeah, the ATF and the government pretty much burnt everyone alive inside of the commune or whatever. You know, even the children.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
They'll
you should
do
look up the
that.
Branch Davidians.
They'll do that. Back in those days, there were savages, man. There were savages back in the
What kind
the
of Kool-Aid
slavery
flavor do
days.
you guys have, though? You know, like maybe I'll go with it if it's an off-brand cherry flavor, and maybe we can work something out. You want to go to Guyana or something? Yeah.
During the slavery days, people used to be ruthless, man. Yeah, no, it was another world back then.
No, this is very recent. You know.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of that cult in Japan? Or this is why Japan doesn't have garbage cans anymore.
Why? That's
Why? Yeah.
There's this crazy cult. They even made a video game on the guy. I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even attempt to say the name. Because the search of Japanese cult and garbage cans and pop right up. And pretty much what they did was they did a chemical attack through the garbage cans, like on the subway system.
Asahara.
What?
They use on it.
Some
Well,
Japanese
it's like it sounds like to me, in central London, there's no bins anywhere in central London because of the threat of
there was an attack on
bomb,
London with some kind of gas too, right?
some bomb being left in bins. So they took all the bins away in central London. So you can't, like in the royal areas,
It's
like
like
the royal
Japan.
parks, you can't find a bin anywhere. You gotta hold your rubbish or just throw it on the floor, and then hopefully a road sweeper will catch it on its way somewhere else, before it gets stuck down someone throws.
My bro's a road sweeper. He works night shift, you know what I mean? Keeping the streets safe out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like these cult people, what it is, it's like yeah, we can go to the base like Marilyn Manson or what is it, Charles Manson. Fucking what it is, they have some sort of hypnotic electromagnetic field they give off to somehow pull people in. It's like a magnetic fucking personality. You know what I mean? And they use it for nefarious reasons after they start power tripping. Like, oh, I can tell somebody to take their hat off and they'll do it. It's like
after all my reading today, do you know what it is? It's the vulnerable. It's
they pray after the vulnerable and weak. Yeah, of course.
It's the ones that have been traumatized most during
So it's like trauma-based mind control during the formative years of their life. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like people that have been traumatized are more easier to manipulate.
Because they don't have many boundaries set up, with their life and who they are.
Yeah. And like people after the Second World War or like the Great Depression, people's minds weren't straight, and it was an easier time to just follow something they give you some sort of happiness.
Tricky buggers, huh, bro?
Some sort of happiness, man. You want to be happy, you know. If you hear like a preacher in the street saying, "Oh, your life will be this way if you follow me," why not? Give me your
Well,
hand, mate.
I'm here to say your life could be whatever way, but if you follow yourself, you know, nobody outside of you. What about that? That destroys any cult.
I know if
You
it
know?
was living in like a Great Depression or something,
Mm-hmm.
where we couldn't
Some
even
people are
afford
living
food.
worse than that right now. You know what I mean?
I know, but not all of us are. But
Not all of us, but some are. And again, like you said, these cults and these things, they prey on the weak, the people with lesser boundaries, easier to mind control, manipulate through trauma-based mind control, which is the people up top. Like even these cult leaders are being used by something higher, you know, which they may not think. They
sure,
may think it's all the ego and the self-serving, and they're trying to do something. But yeah, they're being used just like everybody else within. Call it
Maybe it's
organized
for
religion.
money, or
Yeah.
it's usually probably for money, isn't it?
Well, look at organized religion. Like I knew a guy. No, good for him, right? He found something, that's fine. But you know, like the church takes like off every check he gets, he donates 20% of his money directly to the fucking these people, which probably don't have the best interest in him. But you know, he's happy he found his wife and whatever. So you know, something good came of it. But yeah, motherfuckers need to get paid out here. You know, so you can argue that like really any organized religion is a cult. If you want to
Yeah,
call it that.
definitely. In a way.
Yeah, so they can fucking mind control people. I think they're very clever with it. You know, it's a funny thing.
do you know any other cult leaders, Cage?
No, we can list. We can list so many of them. You know.
What about Joseph D. Mambro? Who's that?
I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of them. Yeah, that's a new one I'm learning about today.
HKs, you said you know him.
No, I don't.
No?
Ambra. No.
Order of the Solar Temple in Canada, founded in 1984. He's a infamous cult leader.
I think of one now. You got in North Korea, that's like cultish, isn't it? You ever heard the music that they play every day? Don't
Not
listen
just
to it.
culture, bro. You know.
Yeah, creating a culture away
Is
from
every cult or
the
culture a
majority.
negative? Is everything? It's not all malicious, or it could.
No,
Like you
no.
do have to have some sort of like you know, this is like kind of like the tribe mind, you know, grouping together. I guess this is like, you know, human beings don't want to be left alone in the cold to fend for themselves. They need a pack, in a way.
We I suppose we kind of have that like Western mind. We've been brought up in Western culture, and some people have been brought up in African culture. Some in, you know what I mean? It's different.
Well, even there, like you know, there's
And
always
then we
like a tribe
break the
mind, right?
chains, and yeah, it's like a tribe mind. But we break off and find our own individual things, don't we?
Seems like it.
Oh, Deborah Hart says, since Predator Andrew, many people were getting to the truth within 3 months. The whole world was locked down. I would have been beheaded by now.
Why would
Yes.
they even? That was actually just like rubbing in people's faces, that little act. That you know when they question Buddy over there. Like who the fuck even? Why would they even air that? You know they aired it on for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To whip up, like, I don't know, hate and shit.
Yeah, fucking
And
rile the
to,
feathers, eh?
yeah. Make people forget about, like, Epstein and all that. All the shit that's been going on with that.
This is order ab chaos, order out of chaos, but it's also chaos out of order, or chaos ab order.
They rule out of chaos. They love the chaos.
But it goes both ways. It's like now they're gonna make you see that way, yet they really have. You know, it's the same coin. Now they're gonna flip it on you. You know. Funny.
If anyone wants to jump on the panel that has or experienced a cult, being in a cult, I've got a few questions for you written down here in front of me. If you don't mind me asking you, it's only like 3 or 4 questions.
I've been in a cult, bro. You can ask me.
Oh yeah. What
Yeah, you
cult
know what
have
the
you been
cult's
in?
called? It's called Caged Reality. I'm just joking. It's my own cult. You know, I'm the only one in it.
Oh. Okay, so I'll ask you then, since you. Well, we'll wait until somebody jumps on. If somebody doesn't jump on, then we'll ask you the questions.
Can you have a cult with one person and you don't try putting people in it? Is that possible or no?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It
think
always
it's getting other
you have to
people
take advantage of people first.
Yeah, basically.
it always starts off with one person, you know.
And it has to start with one person, right?
You have to get the
But you can leave
followers.
it there. You don't have to fucking impose your ideas on others, right? So
Your girlfriend will be your first follower.
that's different.
And then you two go to bars and clubs, no, to bars and cafes, and you go preach there, and you get followers.
You go on the street with a fucking megaphone or something.
Yeah, outside train stations, busy tourist areas. You stand there, and you with your megaphone, and you promote your cult, you know, and you get your followers, you know, with your leaflets. You hand out your leaflets.
That sounds like absolute hell to me. I'd rather work in the background, you know.
You got your posters there, you know, with your hats on and your blazers on with
I
your
am a
little
leader of the
logo.
cult. It's called the cult of the Waffle. You know what I mean?
The color of the waffle.
It's very, very prestigious again. You know what I mean? We're gonna need 3 references and a whole background check before you even be considered. You also have to shine my shoes and kiss my ring. Yeah.
No, but that's what people do. That's what people do to get a cult, you know. It starts with one person, and that by the end of the day, you'll have probably 10 followers, you know.
And then just builds. All it takes is one, right? Again, these are ideologies that are stagnant. So I look at it like a pool of water, right? If the pool is not moving, changing, it becomes stagnant, it becomes unusable, bacteria starts growing. That's pretty much like a cult. You can name some successful cults, right? You can call it Jewish, you can call it Christian, you can call it Catholic, you can call it Muslim, Islam, whatever. Hindu, Buddhist. Those are all cults either way. Some are successful.
Deborah Hart says, who remembers the running fields that were held in Austria with royals hunting down children, then sacrificing? Wow.
What, the Moloch or something?
What were they on their horses hunting them down, you know? Throwing their spears at the children.
Check out this video. I'm just putting it up. Bohemian Grove. That was another one.
What, the infiltration fucking?
They were trying to kiss his ring, innit?
Of course. Look at these fucking weirdos.
Oh, that's a funny cult. Just quickly touch him. Oh, man.
Oh, he come out the other day, didn't he? And he said we need to have all the gays recognize that it's normal to be homosexual. We need
These
everyone
guys
to
just go
recognize.
along. Like, who's telling these retards to say what they say? Either way, look, I found a definition of a cult, a great answer I found online. It says, start with the definition of cult. A cult originally meant a set mode of acceptable practices, ceremonies, ordinances, or rituals. It is the root word of culture from Google, to the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Therefore, any set religious practice is cult-like. It is a defining feature of religion. Modern definitions and sentiments stem from non-dimensional Protestant churches that remove any and all requirements of group standards of conduct. Even with ordinance of baptism would be considered cult-like to some Christians. Therefore, Catholicism, Jehovah's Witnesses, the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, Calvinists, Lutherans, whatever, Seventh-day Adventists, whatever, all these different would fall under the category because they and many other denominations have set standards teaching rites and ordinances. It also include Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, and nearly all religions. Only those who claim spiritual but not religious can claim they do not follow a cult under the original definition. But the original definition is being lost. I can no longer find the same definition I had previously. And now narrows it to something vaguely neutral or downright evil. And now narrows it to something vaguely neutral or downright evil. All right. My bad, I'm not good at reading shit. That was pretty on point, though.
Yeah.
Put in the private, the answer. It's not my answer, I found it.
Do you know any cult?
You should
name?
search up the fucking Branch Davidians. That was the craziest cult shit I see. And these guys weren't even like doing anything that wrong. Like they were leaving people alone, and the government killed them, bro. You know?
The Branch of Davidians,
Branch
Seventh-day
Davidians.
Adventists.
There's something, but like whatever. They're having their own thing, and the government literally just burnt them alive. Children, all of them, like that they went way too crazy. They tried saying like, oh, they threw tear gas in there and ignited it because one of them shot and all that. That's bullshit. They just burnt them down, bro.
David Koresh. Yeah.
That's an interesting cult to look into. That one and the Japanese one.
The Federal Siege, February 28th, 1993. So that's like
not even that long ago, bro.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
This week, I think 31 years ago. Yeah, man. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms attempted to execute a search warrant. Yeah. ATF agents were killed, 16 wounded.
Oh, they fought back and shit. They weren't pussies, I'll tell you that. But they went and burnt down and fucking killed people for no reason. The government started it. I don't condone any of these actions. You know, I'm saying I don't think they should have burnt alive children. That's fucked up. So they were out of pocket. The government was out of pocket with that one. Not to mention, you talk about the cult of Catholicism or Christianity. You know what they're finding? Search this up. They're finding thousands of bodies buried under churches over here in Canada with LIDAR. They're digging a mass graves of little children.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What the fuck do you think they did to North America, British, all this shit? They came and they fucking destroyed anybody over there. Forced them into their cult or their religion. It's fucking hilarious. I used to have these cults coming to me every fucking weekend. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get some rest. It's fucking Sunday, like today. And every Sunday, relentlessly for years, I was nice. I'm like, okay, you know, I listen, 144,000 Jehovah Witness, you better do this or you're gonna fucking burn in hell and all this fucking crazy nonsense. To the point where I'm like, okay, there's only one way to get rid of these people so they never knock on my fucking door again. Because I got fed up with it after all these damn years. Literally, I put up with it for years. Until one day, you know, I just answered the door. I'm like, I'm just going to fuck with them. I looked into their soul, into their eyes, and I'm like, I worship the devil. Looked like they're seeing a ghost, never fucking came back. There you go. That's one way to get rid of them, you know what I mean? With the little dog. You know, obviously I was talking shit. I don't worship anything, but that was you know, one way to get rid of them. I also had like this other guy, you know, like they always target the low income. This is where we're living, like, you know, on they call them the estates over there, right, in the UK. They call it public housing over here. US calls it the projects. We call it the estates, whatever. You're in there. They always target those areas. So yeah, I'm like standing out there waiting for the bus to go to fucking school, and some person comes up to me like, "Oh, you're gonna burn in hell unless you join my cult." That's pretty much all I heard. And I looked at him like, it's like some fucking Filipino kid. I'm like, bro, do you understand the Spaniard? Why the fuck do you think your language is mixed with Spanish? Why the fuck do you think you're obsessed with it in this cult? Because it's passed down generationally through the family, brainwash. And bro, your original people got forced into this shit. Like, you know, like I told him this, and he just like walked away and left me the fuck alone. He's like, you can't really say anything there. It's not gonna work. On to the next fucking idiot. It's ridiculous. The matrix runs deep, you know what I mean?
The matrix runs deep.
Yeah, you can say that fucking shit again, you know? Might as well say it 3 times. You know, play their little game. Fucking itchy, buddy.
Local.
Hello?
Why you guys itchy like that? Stop scratching the fucking skin.
It's what? It's scratching?
Now I brought it up. Now everybody listening is itchy. You see how easy it is to fucking infiltrate the mind? It's another lesson. Oh, why are you itchy? You were itchy. You can't deny it. Even if you weren't, you were. It's like, don't think of the pink elephant, local, whatever you do.
I was looking at the black cat when you said that.
Same thing. It's elusive like that, you know? I was looking at the owl on the hand, you know?
Leaked Wisdom says, I wonder what Elon is really doing with those boring machines.
Boring. You know, a lot of this stuff is boring. All right, if you really want to get deep into it, yeah, it's boring. Boring. Everything's a play on words. It's all spells and shit.
Is that true? The king cannot get arrested while he is still on the throne, same as his mother.
Probably not. I don't think.
That's the most retarded shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, no offense to you British people and shit. I'm Canadian, so who the fuck? How can I talk? But I'm beyond that. So, how the fuck do you have a king or a queen? It's almost as stupid as a fucking prime minister. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have him as king, though, don't you? Still, or did you get rid of him? I'm sure you still have him.
It's kind of sticky. You know what I mean? It's like we got our big sister, fucking, you know, the big brother, U.S. over there, which kind of like controls like a lot of shit. But then we also have the U.K. You know, the queen, but the queen's gone. Now we got the king, apparently. Yeah,
The Five Eyes.
It's still on her money. Like, you know, obviously the fucking, like, even with these different things, right? It always goes back to fucking the Grand Lodge of England. They have to okay certain things. They've been playing a game a long time. Like, how the fuck because they know some real knowledge over there. And it's like, how does this little island fucking take over everything?
Because they invented and set up and control the banking system.
Well, it's called English for a fucking reason. You know, it's their spell.
Yeah.
You're playing on their board, motherfucker. Of course they're fucking dealing with this shit.
The longest serving currency to date is the British pound.
Is it? Right. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
British
Right
pound's
now,
on it.
In the world right now, it is, yeah.
Yeah, no shit. I wonder why. What's the number one language? Or maybe like they try to say is Mandarin or whatever, but no, it's really English. It's the most recognizable language. You can go anywhere in the world, someone's gonna fucking speak English. Yeah. And then the Asians, they go to college and university to learn how to speak English and do business and shit.
I know that the Queen didn't need a license to drive her Range Rover on the streets of London.
Why the fuck would a queen need a license? They're beyond making licenses. That bitch don't care. The fuck? She's probably still alive.
She owns the land, isn't it? So she wouldn't need a license.
Have you guys ever looked into John D?
I've heard of John. I've heard of that.
The Obsidian Mirror, the Scrying Mirror, John D and Edward Kelly. They created like the Enochian language. But actually, this is where 007 came from. They've been fucked with the royal family, these kinds of people. Really pulling the strings behind it. It's all the occult or esoteric shit that's running the whole show. Behind all these cults that are really harvesting these people to create this shit. Again, it's episode 33, cults, you know what I mean?
We've got another guest on. Hello, Tolkien Explorers.
Hello.
Welcome back, Tolkien.
Hello.
I mean, no one asked me to come on here, but I did make an appearance because I figured I could add something to it. I'm going to shut the fuck up, though.
So, Tolkien Explorers, I know something a little bit about you. I know that you're a former cult member. So, that being said, do you want to introduce yourself and just tell everybody what cult you was in, and then I'll ask you these 3 or 4 questions that we got here.
I was in the Cage reality cult, bro, with the Waffle crew.
The Waffle in the house.
The Cage Waffle. Welcome to the cult.
Yeah. There's nothing
you can just talk like that and then fuck with people.
There's nothing to be said local, man. I don't know. I joined one quite many years ago. And when I realized what it was all about, I was like, fuck this, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the questions I got here is how did you first become involved in the cult, and what made you, what initially attracted you to it?
Reading books, like Madame Blavatsky, Adolf Huxley, and then getting onto Aliser Crowley, and
That's what really fucked you up, Aliser Crowley, yeah.
yeah, and then my interest became into the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn because Crowley was in it. So I bought many books about it. And
you're because of Crowley?
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. And then I went along to Edinburgh and I joined, and I probably went down there probably about 10 times. And yeah.
And what, like you got tired of it being a neophyte, huh, Token?
No, it just when it started twisting Cage into like
they put you through a fucking portal, huh? These fucking weird motherfuckers, bro, I'm telling you.
They make you go in a dark room and then like the rest of the members all outside like vibrating and chanting.
I'm gonna make you go in a fucking dark room. You try to tell me to go in a dark room and you're doing some weird shit.
Visualizing like some fucking Egyptian entity. Yeah, fuck that, man.
Yeah, you're summoning shit, bro.
Oh, so that's another question I've got here. How did activities and rituals or practices within the cult affect your daily life?
It depends if you really truly believe in it. I mean, like with the Golden Dawn, you're doing ceremonial magic. So, you know, you would do certain things like the banishing ritual or the pentagram or the, you know, you'll do these certain things.
Well, that's the basic thing people can talk about, right? The LBRP or whatever. The lesson banishing ritual, the pentagram.
Yeah.
And then what about the greater
what
one?
you'll do?
There's a greater one.
There's a greater one and a lesser one. It's all based on Kia Solomon. Go on, sorry, Local.
It's geometry.
You do them every. How often would you do them? Every single day?
Yeah.
You gotta banish at certain times, and then it's like any other fucking practice. You know, Muslims
invocation and banishing. Yeah.
Invoking and
banishing.
Which all these practices.
How many times
when people go to mass or any religion does this kind of shit?
At least once a day, Local.
Every day. Banish in the invoke in the morning, banish at night, or actually switch it up.
Yeah.
Also,
evening, boys. How are we?
Question.
Evening.
What's up, Miss J?
Oh, hello, lovelies. How are we?
Good evening.
I'm so sorry I'm a bit late, Local. It's been a busy evening on the old internet. So yeah, sorry I'm late for this.
That's all right.
Yeah, but the Golden Dawn teachings, there's something to be learned from them, just like any other practice or ideology, right? There's something always to be learned from anything you see. Doesn't mean it's all correct, and I go and like do like these things. I've had multiple people tell me, I'm not even fucking joking, like that don't know each other, and like I know for a fact they're not lying to me. Like these people, when you get real deep into it, serious with it, they'll make something materialize in the room.
Yeah.
Like the show will actually appear in the fucking room. And I've heard multiple people from different esoteric practices, like this high, like serious with it, tell me that. So like I know, and they don't know each other. Like, so when I hear things multiple times, and like I've seen certain things, like I never tried to do anything. I know it. I know they're fucking doing it. Like you can have someone that fucking appear in the room. It's just no fucking joke.
Yeah.
You fuck around, you find out, and all this shit. Now this shit's appearing right in front of you. That's why I want to recommend like these guys. Like a lot of these people, they're trying to harvest people. They want to keep them on lower level, not be aware of their actions, or at least warn people, right? That's probably why you fucking left, though. You know, like, these guys are.
Matt asks, are you a fan of Keir Starmer and the Labour Party?
No.
Oh, God, politics.
I don't even know what that is.
Politics is not a good subject of mine. Completely waste of time.
I got
no
interest.
Leak Wisdom wants to know what the secret handshake of the cult of the waffle is.
Oh, it's called the Tiger's Paw.
Oh,
the lion's
right.
grip. The lion's grip. Well, you have to waffle it a bit. You know what I mean? You have to waffle it the right way in order to find the password.
I'll make a video on the next time I'm live, like at a protest or something, and I can stick my hand out. I'll show everyone the hand trick. So keep an eye out for the next live stream.
The next live stream is just like walk around with the sign of silence, you know, like with the one thing, your index finger over your lips and shit. Just walk around like that.
The sign of silence.
Yeah.
Just
do that. Just walk around town like that and see who approaches it.
Yeah. The lips of wisdom are only sealed to the ears.
The lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. So you always miss that one up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to start my own cult, and it's just gonna be me, myself, and I. I don't know if that can. I don't think that classifies as a cult. But I tell people with these waffle cults and all that, you know, don't look to anybody except yourself. Make your own, and then guess what? There's no cult anymore.
Mrs. J.
So the last question to Token Explorers.
Sorry, man, go
on. The last question to Token Explorers is what were the key benefits and teachings that appealed to you that led you to join the group?
Because I've always been interested in, like I said, Adolf Huxley, The Doors of Perception. I was always interested in expanding the consciousness and understanding what the consciousness was. So the principles of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn kind of rang bells with me because it was finding your true higher self. So I was very interested in what they knew about that.
But at the end you realized all you needed was you, and you really you came to a level of understanding where you can't be taught or given to. It goes beyond these words that we speak, this English language or any language, you know. That's the most important thing, and you know that's like I want to consider the Golden Dawn a cult, you know, because that's more of like an individualized experience. It's not like one thing where you're grouping people together. You need a imam, you need a priest, you need a fucking rabbi, you need one of these intermediate figures or whatever.
But that one I was part of, though, local. Yes, they were registered as the Golden Dawn. Yes, they had contacts around the world. But when I dug a little bit deeper, when I dug a little bit deeper into that lodge, it turned out to be, from my experience, and I won't go too deep into it, but it turned out to be basically following on from Aliser Crowley into Thelema. So they were actually doing sexual magic as well. So I was like,
all right, but Crowley is just like a bad egg. Okay, Crowley, he learned the Golden Dawn and Masonry and stuff like that. He went to the Golden Dawn, and what he did was he took the information, published it. He published it to the people, put his own little sick fucking twist onto it, the information for the public, and fucked around like a real retard. Look how he died, bro. Alone with nothing. So it didn't really work out for him at the end. So all I'm saying is, he stole the real teachings. He took the actual teachings and made a bunch of waffle and gave it out to people. I mean, life's hard. People get defensive and shit. So you gravitate towards them.
You're just afraid of Crowley, bro. That's your problem.
I ain't afraid of that fucking pussy. I guess lucky he's not living when I'm living.
Say his name 3 times, Cage.
Cage. I appear.
He was 72 when he died. He died of bronchitis.
Yeah, why was he 72? Again,
that was his age.
This is just... Okay, well...
Why was he 72? Because he lived 72 years?
What is that related to? You know, the goetic, the 72.
Well, you were just saying how he died alone with nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, he died alone with a little pancreas. You know, a little pancreas.
He had pleurisy. He had pleurisy. Bronchitis.
What's that? Oh, okay.
It's sort of nearly getting to pneumonia.
Mm.
That's how he died.
For sure.
He died a lonely old man.
He did.
Yeah, because he's a fucking idiot and he's messing with the shit.
And he was all upset on it just before his death because L. Ron Hubbard and what's his face fucking was doing the moon child ritual.
Yep.
What about Abramelin the mage? Or Abramelin of Worms? What about the Abramelin ritual?
Worms. Yeah.
Mm.
You waffling, Cage?
No, I'm not waffling. I'm telling you actual real thing.
I can't really hear him very well, so I'm saying that.
It's called Abramelin, the Abramelin ritual.
Oh, yeah.
That was one
Abramelin of Worms from Germany. It's kind of like the Count of Saint Germain in a way.
Yeah. So he was basically it's based off like the same books like the Goetia, if you ever read that.
No.
It's the same waffle. It's basically using like King Solomon, the
Lesser Key of Solomon. And it goes into the Goetia. This is why they say Crowley died at 72, because there's 72 sigils that correspond. Like they almost look like electrical circuits that correspond to 72 angels and demons. This is why they have that 144 thing, you know, like on the Georgia Guidestones with 144,000 or whatever. Same with the Jehovah's, they have that 144, because what's 72 plus 72? The 144. Yeah. So they love messing around with this little shit. What's 4 plus 4 plus 1? It's the quintessence, right? You have the 4 basic elements combined with the observer or the individual. Got the quintessence. And that right there is what people try to manipulate. Once you realize that, like, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. If you ignore it, and it's at your own peril. But we all know this shit, so we got to do something about it actively every single day. And it's just being you, being your authentic self in that. Sorry for the rant.
So where are we up to with your list? Hello, my darling. I'm really sorry I'm late. It's been a crazy evening. I've been modding another stream, and then like it was like I've got to come over to you. So I've been on a crazy one today. So but it's good because obviously we're going to be protesting Scientology. In a few weeks.
What is your obsession with this L. Ron Hubbard and this fucking Scientology?
There's no obsession. I'm educating myself.
So tell us, hold on, Cage, hold on. So, Mrs. J earlier on today or yesterday, something like that, messaged me saying if I can attend a protest demonstration for her.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. Can you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Yeah. So on March the 13th, that's L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. So
Why do
Scientology
you know
have a
L. Ron Hubbard's
big
birthday?
deal
Hold on,
about
Paige,
this.
hold on.
Yeah, please hold on a minute, Cage, and then I can explain. Yeah, so on the 13th is his birthday, which is where they all get together and have a big party. It's a bit like Christmas, but for Scientologists.
May I ask you a question quickly? What's your cousin's birthday? Do you know that birthday or no?
I don't really know any of my cousins, my love.
Okay, what about like do you have a sibling? When's their birthday?
Why would I tell you that?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I'm saying if you don't know,
Of course
like,
I know them.
I'm saying, look at how these figures fucking, you know, these archetypes, whatever you want to call them, influence people. Now you're culted up.
No. I love your wonderful assumptions every time we have a conversation, Kate. Your ability to generalize and use your, how would I call it? You have like a spiel that you do. And it's the same spiel every time we have a conversation. It's quite tiresome.
I speak my mind. I'm sorry if I offend.
No, it's the same spiel.
Oh yeah, get used to it. You know, it's called consistency.
There you go.
I'll say something quick. Like, I suppose everyone's got into things like that. They believe in that you're trying to stop. But I got involved in like the Stop the War campaign fucking 15, 20 years ago. Miss J is into trying to stop Scientology. You know, that's her thing.
Yeah, and the drug rehab that they do here in the United Kingdom, you know, that it's important.
You're inadvertently giving it
people
power.
Are dying.
You're inadvertently giving it power and advertising at the same time. Who the fuck?
Paige is Cage sounds like an armchair activist. He just talks it, but he doesn't walk it.
No,
he doesn't do anything about any of it.
Oh no, I'm on the ground dealing with it.
Nothing.
That's
it's
the issue
quite
when you
amusing.
talk about it. No, you think it's quite amusing.
You're amusing.
Perfect. Amusing.
But then again, that's good. Well, it's what we're trying to do, you know. Just do what you do with no government intervention, you know.
No, because when you be real with people.
Well, the plan is actually we've actually got MPs involved now.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and fucking. I'm standing. Actually, I'm not going to stand here and just tell you what you want to hear. I think the time for that is done.
And vice versa, Cage.
Exactly. So yeah, show me the truth. I'm sorry for being a fucking.
The proof is all there, Kate. You just got to go and look at it. You'll see how much work I've done exposing the cult of Scientology in this country. It's massive what I'm doing, Kate. Absolutely massive. And you know what? I'm so excited to say that hopefully that we will actually expose Narconon and what they're doing. They've actually just cut their funding in the last 3 weeks. That's amazing.
And playing their game because listen, you're going after these whatever the fuck this shit.
I'm going to keep going after them, Cage.
I mean, I've known about Scientology for like 20 years.
They already got dealt with.
Yeah,
and it's only in the last year that it's got sort of quite mainstream, and a lot of people know about it now, and people are protesting against it.
Yeah.
It's only in the last year.
I've seen them short videos. Like, you know, it's funny. I started getting these short videos about these people fucking with Scientology. Is that like a YouTube trend or some shit? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, there was loads of documentaries like years ago, but it was always quite small, I'd say. And now it's really big. And it looks like they could be on their last legs
they do.
in the next few years.
Absolutely, Age. It's quite amazing. Hopefully we'll actually eradicate in this country within the next 2 years.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, but that's what they want you to think and do, right? They want you.
No, that's what you're just making up.
I'm going to tell you the harsh history of how this shit works, okay?
Okay, you do that, mate. You tell me. Come on, then.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
They want you to react. So they want
I'm listening, Kate.
They want your energy, even if it's trying to tear it down or build it up. Either way, it's energy.
Yeah, so let's just not bother and do what Cage does and sit at home.
And they're gonna. I don't sit at home. I'm out here twiddling my fucking thumb.
Where did that come from?
Coronation Street. But either way.
Go on then. Let's hear it.
It doesn't. They want you to fucking react in a certain way. Unless you're outside of that reacting and just waffling.
Yeah, just sit at home like Cage then, eh?
You think I just sit at home?
Well, that's what you do, isn't it? You just sit there and waffle all day.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, you don't know me.
You do. I've listened to you many times, Cage. You talk shit all day, every day. And try and put connections together and think, oh yeah, and that's connected to that. How about it just is?
You've won, darling. Okay, you won. Okay, I said there on Waffle, and you know.
You are waffling, mate. Yeah, which is fine. You can waffle, but I will correct you when you're being a twat.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So can I finish now? Can I finish what I was saying?
No,
without you interrupting me?
Yeah, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You can say whatever you like. It's right under your nose. It's up to you.
Go on, Miss J. You won't
right.
interrupt. Go on.
Yeah, so like on the so the plan is we've got it all set up now. That is going to be the 13th of March in London. There was a massive one in America yesterday. In fact, there was two. There was 2 separate ones, one in Austin and one in LA, which went down really well. That was amazing. There was thousands of people watching that, which was fantastic. And hopefully with the plan, the way that it's going, hopefully this, as I said, I can only say about United Kingdom, all right, because I'm not an American, and what they're doing over there is really different to here, and their style of protesting is really different to the United Kingdom as well. And both works. And as you know, Tokes, I am interested in how the art of war works. And this is everyone's coming at it at different angles. We're coming at it. We've now fantastic. We've got over 1,000 signatures.
Hold on,
Cage. No. Hold on, Cage. Let her finish, and then you can interrupt.
Okay. If you want to learn about the art of war, look into Lao Tzu. Okay, like you're saying you want to look into it. Have you looked into Lao Tzu? Sorry for interrupting.
You finished?
No, you haven't. So it's just a bunch of waffle air coming out your mouth.
Oh, fucking hell.
Right. So with the art of war, which I find really fascinating, that the people come at it at all different angles and how they're going to approach this, especially with a cult. There's a lot of cults in this country. In fact, there's actually 400, would you believe? And it'd be with the art of war and how it works. I mean, everyone comes at things at different angles, and that's what's working at the moment. There's all these different angles coming in, and they don't know what to do. So in the States, they have actually closed all of the Scientology buildings where there are protesters outside, which is fantastic. So nobody can get in, which is good. And then over here, that's the plan over here. I've spoken to
shut down one of them. Yeah.
You're obsessed with Scientology, admit it, please. I don't know why. You're a part of the cult without being a part of it. This is the whole fucking point. It's crazy.
No, I'm a researcher.
You're obsessed with it for years. We're making deep fakes with Elwer and Hubbard. Ask us make deep fakes. It's been years and years.
Oh my god! She's got something she's really interested in, and actually trying to sort something out where I just sit at home do nothing.
You're being waffled. The waffle is not even square; it's circular now. It's
no, Cage.
You're gonna eat your own tail or chase your own tail like a little dog.
Okay. Okay.
Tough love, because I can just be like, great job.
Yeah, tough love, mate. Tough love. Thanks for that.
Because I do love everybody on it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to like fuck with you. Like I'm trying to tell you
Just
the
being a
fucking
dickhead.
truth. Well, that's what it takes, right? You can't be like telling the truth.
Right. So yeah. So with Narconon, which is fantastic, which is the drug rehab unit, we've actually spoken to the CQC in London, and they have discovered that East Grinstead haven't been maintaining the drug rehab unit. So that's been shut down. And that was 2 weeks ago, which is fantastic. So nobody can spend £33,000 to have drug rehab with Narconon, which doesn't actually work. And that's really good. And then we're going to be heading to Manchester and do stuff there as well, at the one there.
Good. So
Well
yeah,
done,
I'm
Miss
gonna
J,
go
well
and
done.
attend the London one on March the 13th. Is it the 13th? Yeah, 13th.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. And we're exposing these bastards. And what's really good, I mean, when we did the protest in November, I'm really pleased to say 4 people actually left Scientology after that.
Well, yeah, I heard about that. That's good. Maybe
Yeah,
even
I'm
up
really proud
now,
of that.
more have left, you know.
When I did it, I just wanted, when I started the project, I just wanted, even just one person leaving, to actually get one person to leave that was my goal. And to get 4 people out in November was quite an achievement. We've also been going around the country filming people that have actually been in Scientology and who have been abused, rape victims, SA victims. People have been locked in rooms, abused on boats, and we've got all of that. And that's gone to Diane Abbott, who has taken the baton and is running with it. So and we actually put the letter out today that Diane Abbott.
You're trying to do a noble thing, which I respect. I'm sorry for the interruptions and all that. I do respect.
You always interrupt, Kate.
But now I see where you're coming from in a way which I always seen. Like, you're trying to do something good, right? So there's no fault on your own. And what we were talking about earlier, before you were on here, we're talking about cults and these different things. They prey on the weak, right? This is why you have all these people with all these issues there. Why? Because they have low boundaries. They're easily manipulated and put into this kind of fucking thing. And remember, the cult works in a way where you either hate it or love it. Don't hate the player, hate the game type shit. So you can be like completely against it, trying to go against it and doing all that. But either way, the energy is there and they're harvesting that fucking shit, if it's with it or without it.
You say don't play the hater. Don't hate the player.
Hate the game.
Don't hate the game.
If you want to hate anything, I'd recommend not hating anything. But yeah, that's like the saying.
I feel sorry for the player, and I hate the game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a fucked up little adage they give people,
I find with cults, how they do it is they find your ruin. They find the thing that really you need sorting out, and they tell you this is what you need to sort out. This is what's wrong with you. And what we're going to do, we're going to take you in and we're going to make that better. That's how they sort of slowly get you in. And with the brainwashing and the coercive control.
Yeah, Jay, we call it hopium. Right? It's like opium with an H. Hopium. Yeah. You might as well just fucking OD. We're at the Narcan 25 fucking times before you wake up, That's how the world works. But people are ruthless and they prey on the weak. You make your own program, you make your own cult, whatever the fuck. You make your own thing, you're you. You be you authentically, and none of this shit fucking works. If that was taught, there would be no cult.
Be you, exactly. You're saying be you. Yeah. She's trying to be herself, and you're saying no. I don't know what you're saying. What are you?
I'm not saying no. I'm saying it's a great thing she's doing. I'm saying there's something out of the heart where she's trying to help and pull people out. But you have to realize sometimes. Remember, you're in the pool trying to pull someone out, and guess what? You're still in the fucking pool yourself. The best way to get out of that. I'm not trying to say you have to do anything. You know, I'm sorry for interjecting, talking over. Now I'm also looking in the same way you're looking at. You know what I mean? Because I've been there. And certain things are going after something. Really, it's going after you, using you. It's
Okay.
a little trick they play. You know, I'm just trying to get out of the fucking be honest and shit instead of playing the games all the time. Like, we're done with the games, you know. And I'm trying to express myself.
I don't want people being SA'd. I don't want people being SA'd. I don't want children being child trafficked into this. Listen to me. I don't want children being child trafficked into this country under the use of religion. Yeah, and that is happening in this country right now. There are children aged 12 being taken from Australia, from Italy, Switzerland, Japan, and they're sent to this country and nobody is doing anything about it. These people are leaving these people are sending their own children to this country. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. And I'm exposing that. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to stop. I promise you, I'm not going to stop exposing this shit. And it's not just Scientology. The reason why I'm saying Scientology is because that's what the project's about at the moment. But this isn't it. I'm going to go for other cults as well, not just this one. I've learned a lot. And I've learned a lot how it all works. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
So this is these questions that I've got here. I only got 4 questions. This question ain't on the if the panelists can just mute up for a second, apart from Mrs. J. One question is how long was you in so you was in a cult. What cult were you in?
I was brought up in born again Christianity, which is where you have to believe that Jesus Christ comes into your heart, and then you pray for forgiveness, and then that thing is done and dusted. That thing is then forgotten because you've prayed about it and you've asked God to forgive you. It's you then get filled with the Spirit where you start speaking in tongues, and then the next stage is that you get put into water, fully submerged into water, because you're completely giving your life to Jesus Christ forever. Yeah. Right. Cage is gone.
Oh, did he go? Okay. So how does Scientology? What did you join Scientology as well?
No, what happened was I was looking into. Well, I've been really fascinated how since my experience as a child, how other religions work, and I pretty much spent most of my life educating myself on various religions, cults, occult stuff, and how religion has diverse, with Christianity having 150 different versions of it, and they're all worshipping the same God actually, but my version is better than your version. I'm more spiritual than you are, and that's really fascinated me. And for my own religious trauma, because obviously my father is I don't know where anyone will say it now, my dad's a famous Christian. He went all over the world, taking me all over the world when I was little. And it was hard going, man, because in my head, I was thinking, I'm not doing this right. This doesn't make sense. I don't understand. How can the world only be 6,000 years old? What a load of shit. But you can't say that because your father's up there on stage preaching to the world that Jesus Christ is coming back any day and we all need to be prepared. And so the religion builds you on guilt and fear. and I needed to unpick that for my own life. You know, I needed to understand and unpick it. And Scientology, as Age said, you know, I started looking into it about 20 years ago. And then I watched a series when I had my accident. I watched a series called The Aftermath, and I could really relate to some of the people that were who'd come out of Scientology. And that, it was like, God, I really relate to that. I understand. And then I started learning about cognitive dissonance and coercive control, and how money is used to create the power. They're also built on fear as well. You know, it's a similar thing. And you pay, you know, with Scientology, you have to pay for these courses. You know, I just found it fascinating. Why would you? And I was like, why would you pay? You know, why would you go and pay for it? And that got me interested. So yeah, and then I thought, well, why don't I be L1 Hubbard? Because he's meant to have come back. You know, he died. You know, and he's meant to be coming back, a bit like Jesus Christ. You know. He's meant to be coming back, and they're waiting, and their anticipation, and he's got his clothes all laid out on his bed waiting for him for when he comes back. And it was really similar. I could relate to that feeling of them going, I didn't really, it didn't make sense. You know, I don't understand why I was put through that. And that's how it started. So I thought, oh, well, sod it, I'll be L. Ron Hubbard, because he's meant to be coming back, and they don't know who he is. So I thought I'd do that, and that's how it started. And now, you know, I do all the stuff that I do, but I can't talk about a lot of it, because if they know what we're up to, they'll be ready for us. So keep a lot of stuff hidden away on what we're doing. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. And it's helped me really get through my own religious trauma. Mrs. J, the submersion in water, like baptism, yes, where a child gets, but I was baptized when I was little as well. So when I was a baby, I was baptized, where you put the cross on the forehead. You know, I was baptized, but then I was also fully submerged, had a fully submerged baptism. And I remember that day quite vividly, of just pretending that this is all okay. This is what it was like. My parents were absolutely delighted I was doing it. And I was 13, 12, something like that, 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, giving my life over to God. And my mum was saying things like, she said things like, she did what they called, what are they called? Where they tell you that they've had a message from God. And my uncle stood up and told me what my life was going to be like now. And my mum saw me as this beautiful tree that I was going to flourish, and I'd be and she said, you're going to end up playing the guitar on the stage for your dad behind him. And I was thinking, oh well. Yeah, it sounds nice, doesn't it? It sounds lovely, but that's part of it, you see. You know, that's part of it. Premonition, yeah, that sort of thing. Test. Oh, that was weird. Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't end up playing guitar on the backstage of when my father. I know why she sort of said that, because she wanted to be. My mum and dad wanted to be like their minister, and so we're striving to do that. You know, striving to meet famous people who were Christian and things like that, which they did. They did all of that. Yeah. I should do a proper talk on it, really. It's taken a long time to be able to speak about it, because my PTSD with it has been quite horrendous. because you wake up each day and you think you have to, speaking in tongues. I'll do some in a minute if you like. The waking up, I spend a lot of years waking up and having to land on my feet and be grounded and go, no, this is where you are. This is who you are. There is no thing going to come and save you. He's not coming back. It's bollocks. And I had to spend a long time doing that and to get over the PTSD of it. Yeah.
You know how to speak in tongues? I've heard it.
I was 7, so I learned to speak in tongues when I was 7. And I remember, I was 7 years old. And now, when I talk to other people who went through the same process as myself, we've all said, every single person I've spoken to who have gone through this, the speaking in tongues, you're in your head, you go inside your head, you're going, am I doing it right? Is that right? Am I doing it right? If I just keep doing it, then it must be right. This is how I must do it. And I was 7. Yeah. Must admit, as a singer who used to stutter, joined Sunday school. Annie Lennox asked me to be a backing singer.
I'm going to take off, guys, man. I just wanted to join, give some support and that. So I'll be watching in the background. Peace, love, and light.
Legend as always, Tokes.
You too, man. Take care, guys.
Man.
One love, man. Bye-bye.
Peace and prosperity, man. Tokes.
I had to shut Cage down, mate. I'm sorry. He was being a twat.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Local.
the only reason why I had to say everyone mute up.
Yeah. Good to see Vanish. Don't see Vanish for ages.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
so
ask a question and I'll answer it for you.
What led you to What led you to Scientology? What appealed to you to lead you to Scientology?
It was watching the Aftermath program. It's called Leah Remini and the Aftermath, and I watched the first series of that. I think it's 6 episodes, and every single person who was in each episode was phenomenal. It was phenomenal how much I could relate to how they were feeling, because it's sort of a sidestep of this complete coercive control. And I could relate to that. And then I started educating myself on it. And then I decided, I said, to be L. Ron Hubbard because he's dead.
Oh yeah. And now you're proper involved in the Scientology.
Yeah, I got the website taking the piss out of L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah. And all of the funding. Angry Gay Pope, I actually spoke to him 2 days ago. Yeah, he's a ledge. He's in our Discord, and then he vanished. He was in the Discord and then buggered off again. I email him because he actually, Angry Gay Pope was one of the first people that saw my website. I wanted to get his point of view on it. Yeah. He's a character. Yeah. He's that he's been doing that for years, just on his own. He didn't care. He's like, right, I'm still going to fight. And they followed him. They had PIs on him, and they try and make his life hell. But he's still plodding on and still going forward, which is worth it. Sunday school for me was a release to get rid of this. Yeah. That's great. See, that's singing, but it's the singing, isn't it? And that's what brought you together. What does IKR mean? I know Oh, I don't know what that means. Hello, vanished.
I know, right?
Oh, I know, right? Okay. The first control. Yeah. My conversation with my mum when I brought home an Ammonite when I went to Lyme Regis on holiday with the school, being told that it was 8 million years old, and my mum telling me, no, it's not, it's 6,000 years old. That was a day. Yeah.
That's mad. I bet that was a discussion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that the spark?
Oh, I know. Right. Cool.
Was that the spark? The original spark? Different.
Yeah, it was my original spot, and it's on my mantelpiece. You know, reminds me it's there. I've got a piece of art that I bought about 20 years ago that goes with it. That's ammonites, and it's on my mantelpiece. And it's a way of, it's a bit like me saying when I get out of bed and say, there, you know, this is all, that was bollocks. What you were going through was rubbish, and your parents completely controlled you in that situation, and now, you know, the Ammonite's up there looking at me.
What does Deborah mean by control?
It's an illusion. It's you know how the government says look over there, and you look over there and you're seeing something completely different, and you go, that's completely different to what they're telling me. You know what I mean? And you see that it's a similar thing. It's a similar thing. And I won't stop doing anything about it. Now that I'm a little bit stronger as well, you know, I'm doing a live stream tomorrow with a lady, and we're discussing the ex-Scientology community. And then I'm doing a live stream with Alex later on in the week. You know, to keep it going, and just it's, as I said, it's Scientology is just one thing. I mean, obviously there's hundreds of cults. You know, have you heard about Nexium? Do you know about Nexium, Local?
Nexium, no.
So Nexium is an American invention, and the guy was a Scientologist who branched off in his own brilliant world, and his name was Keith Ramirez, and he's now in prison. He coerced and convinced the community that he'd created that the women must do everything the man says. Wow. And he actually ended up branding the women with irons. Yeah, he branded them. Yeah, there you go. Matt's right. Matt's got it there. Yeah. And so he's just been put in prison for a very long time. Yeah, and that's only recent, Local. That was just like 2019 or something, you know.
Wow.
To convince people to that degree that you'll brand your wife. Pay thousands to do it too.
What's his name? Keith what?
Ramirez. So Nexium has folded, by the way. That has folded, which is good. Have you found him? Like cattle, yeah. Horrific. He was so brilliant the way he spun things to make them believe him and stuff. And this is happening, you know, and as I said, these are normal people, normally quite intelligent people, who want to make their life better, who want to become better people. So you get offered something that can make your life better or could improve your well-being. And yoga, these yoga things, where you're doing yoga for 24 hours, and then you have 6 hours off, and you only eat beans for a day, and it's crazy. And these are happening now, all right now. Not like a 2-week retreat where you go off for 2 weeks. These are, you go and you live and you're part of it, and that's how you live your life, because you're dedicated to that it's not Swami. It's Swami. Oh, I can't remember the name of the leader anyway of the retreat, for example. And you want to follow that particular person, so you pay hundreds of pounds to just eat beans and do yoga for 24 hours and heat or whatever, because this man has got the answers. This man has got the answers, but you have to do this to get the answers. You have to follow this pattern to get the answers, and become a better person, more spiritual, more awakened, more enlightened. Yeah, very clever. With Scientology, your body is a meat suit. So you're inside your meat suit, and your body thetan. It's called your spirit is a thetan. So in Christianity, it's a spirit. You're a spirit inside your body, and in fundamental born again Christianity, whereas Scientology, you're a thetan inside your meat suit. Yeah. And you go off to the next planet, and you're an alien next, or you come back here and you're somebody else. Crazy. Them pesky stations, get in the way. Yeah. And you can go to, you go to a Catholic church and you pray to a specific saint that you want to pray to for a specific thing that could be wrong with you. So you desperately pray to a particular saint, and you follow the rituals and all of that, and you're desperate to become enlightened or to become a better person, because we all want to become a better person. We all want to be a better person. That's just who we are, isn't it? That's us as individuals. We want to learn how to make ourselves better. And if you're given a carrot that's dangled in front of you, yes, that's right, League Wisdom. You get a carrot that's dangled in front of you. You think, oh yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna make me better. That's gonna make me how I want to be. And you have Osho Leela, you have Osho over where they built the city in America, and Osho they bought the land and they built a whole city, and the locals got really wound up, so they started buying up the local staff. And
I was talking about that earlier.
Do you see the runway that they built for him to bring his plane in and stuff? Yeah.
And I said that they got involved locally in politically, and they lost, so they ended up poisoning the locals with salmonella. Was it salmonella or one of?
I believe you could be right there. Whereas Scientology, anyway. they infiltrated the FBI with Project Snow White back in the 70s. So it's a similarity, you can see again the two completely different cults. One is Osho and worship Osho and the meditation side, and then you have the Scientology stuff where make yourself, it's really clever. And all you got to do is just be you. You're in control of you. Nobody else. People can help you and guide you and give you the right format to make you a better person, but it's only you that can do that. It's not some magical potion or a magical spell to repeat over and over, or you get a cloth that has some sort of perfume on it that's going to constantly make you a better person, or none of that. The only way you can be a better person is you. You can do that. And once we get to grips with that, and once we learn that, your life will become better. You'll have more understanding of how to juggle what's going on in your head. You know, that a lot of people have a lot of things going on in their heads constantly. What if, you know, is there something? Am I going to die and go to heaven, or am I going to die and go to hell? No, you're just you. What happens next? You'll find out, won't you?
I'm worried. I'm worried, yeah.
Yeah.
With the technology, I'm worried that I'm gonna pay so much money that instead of copying my consciousness and sticking it into a robot, it's gonna come out just a copy of me and not actual me. So I'm gonna be dead, and the copy is gonna be living.
So what has made you decide that you're going to be that important, that that's going to happen?
Well, no, if the technology,
Sorry, mate.
if it's available, if I'm still alive, then I'll do that. You know, extend my life. I would like
So
to
you're
live
worried
forever.
about doing it, but if there is a possibility of doing it, you'll do it.
If there was a chance to live forever by imprinting your consciousness into something else, a body or something, a synthetic body or whatever you want to call it.
Android.
Yeah. An android, yeah. If there's a
I don't
chance
see
of
how
doing
you can
that,
worry about this
I
though,
know.
because if you're wanting to do that and that
That's what I'm
opportunity
more
comes up,
worried about. Yeah, if it comes up, I'll do it. Yeah. If it doesn't, then yeah, I'm worried all my life about it, and it's never happened yet.
you need to box that and put it up on your shelf in your brain, mate, because it's not going to happen.
Who knows? Who knows?
You shouldn't be worried.
Maybe they can rip my brain out with my spine and my eyes attached still, and connect that to a machine. You know, that's all you need from the body to copy me, to put me onto another device. That's all you need there. The brain and the spine and the eyes.
Sorry, mate. And it's just I go back to how it's wonderful that you feel that important. It is wonderful that you feel that important, that could happen to you. But out of you know all of the choices, because you're of an age where that possibility isn't likely to happen unless there is another boost of technology in the next 50 years. But even with that, the only thing I can think of that would probably happen is that we would have an android a bit like what's it called, that film
If I see
Will Smith in it.
But if I see 80, then that will be 50 years. So
Yeah.
So if you're saying in 50 years' time this technology will be available and I'm still alive, then yes, why not do it then? You know?
So you don't need to worry about it. iRobot, thank you. It's more likely there'll be something for us. I don't think we'll ever live. I don't think any of us will live forever.
I do need to worry about it. I think
there's that guy who spends £1 million a year, and apparently he reckons that he's going to live to 140 or something.
Maybe.
Some rich guy. He has loads of like vitamin pills and shitloads of little things.
Yeah, we won't be alive to know, Age.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
We won't be alive to know. Not a clue. Yeah, it's more likely we'll have an android. You know, like something for myself, for example, to support me with my housework and things like that for when I get older because of my condition. Then there might be that, but I do not see any average Joe being put into another body. Because I do is it cry? Was it crying? I can't remember how you pronounce it. Cryonetics? How do you say it? Were you frozen?
Cryogenics.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are like chopping off heads, aren't they, and freezing them.
That reminds me of the Simpsons. Is it this? No, Futurama, isn't it? Right.
Oh,
it is a Simpsons. Yeah.
Futurama.
And I've got a feeling, Local, that's where you've got that from.
President Nixon.
That's it. Is the android going to look like you, Local? Or is it going to look like someone else?
Exactly like me.
Are you going to be a bread maker like your robot at work?
No, I'm going to be I'm going to need to replicate myself. I need to live for 300 years, Mrs. J.
I wouldn't want to live for 300 years.
I need to save the people in 300 years' time.
I like that idea. I like that
film, idea. Where he lives forever. What's it called?
Highlander.
No, not Highlander. But in one of the films, he is in a Scottish clan, isn't it? What's it called, man? Someone's got to
ask the chat. Leaked Wisdom says 300 years, all the shops will be closed by then. We get you kippers.
Highlander?
Well, that's
it's Highlander. Yeah.
If I didn't need to eat, then I wouldn't need to worry about kippers.
But wouldn't you want those lovely cakes from that amazing shop near you?
No, if I knew I didn't need to eat, then I wouldn't have to worrying about being hungry.
Yeah. That's something to not worry about, Local.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of this worrying business. So anxiety for future events is strong in a lot of people. And I do wish sometimes that I could take that away from people, and just say, look, you don't need it, man. Today's today, and you know what you're going to be doing, rather than worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow or whatever, because we just don't know. Our situation is very fluid, and we forget that. And it's good to we waffle a lot about stuff, don't we? And you don't need to worry, especially at your age.
Yeah.
Take that worry and box it away. You're amazing as you are, you're doing the best that you can do. If you know that you're doing the best that you can do with the tools that you've got, you know, with the abilities that you've got, then you're spot on. You know, it's spot on. I'm just saying spot on there as well. You know, it makes you yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Am I waffling too much?
Yeah.
Droid waffle.
Waffle and toast. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you can do is the best that you can. The best that you can makes life a lot better. I've
Droid
learned this,
waffle.
you know, since the accident. You know, I've been through a lot of horrific things, and my brain, and having to manage how my brain works now, but I'm doing the best that I can with it. We forget, you know, silly things like making your bed, right? Make your bed, and then when you get back to your bed in the evening, you know that you've done something that day. You made your bed, even if it's just that. Even if it's just that. There's no need for religion. I have hurt my brain. Yeah, I did hurt my brain very badly. Yeah. It's doing well. It's a lot better. Got it managed now. Had to remember.
Everyone's brains are damaged, you know, with the shit that we consume.
It's true. Absolutely spot on.
Sorry to everyone in the chat and everyone watching. But you're all clueless, guys.
Cardiff.
Hello to Cardiff.
It's I've worked really hard at it, Leaked Wisdom. Really hard at it. And sometimes it still goes out of whack, and I have to tell everybody my brain is going out of whack. I know the signs now when it does it, so it's good. Yeah. Just got to try my best, you know. Keep going. Keep going. As for forgetting to make the bed, we all did that in our teens. Just leave it as it progress and move on. Yeah. Don't let the future worry you. Be aware of the coercive behaviours that are all around, whether it be a religion or cults or the government. You know, just it's like you've written there, cult characteristics. It's a similar thing. And once you understand. Oh, okay. All right, we're finishing in 10 minutes. All right, we're finishing in 10 minutes. It's because I was late. I'm sorry I'm late. And yeah, cult characteristics. Making you feel they love bomb. A lot of cults love bomb you.
Okay,
you know about
so
love bombing?
one more question then. How did Scientology influence you? It influenced your thoughts and behaviors and decision making, or not just that, maybe your childhood cult, your religion.
How did it influence me?
Yeah.
It ruined me, Local. That's what it did. It ruined me. I could see that there was something completely wrong in what was happening. But when your parents are so obsessed, it ruined me. I became a drug addict to get away from it. You know, taking drugs took me away from the "is there a God" shit. You know, and a lot of people, this happens to a lot of people, unfortunately. You know, and I abused everything I could possibly get my hands on, so I didn't have to think about whether there was a God or not. It's
Why?
true.
Why? Was that the time when the problems started occurring in your life? You know, you
The
started
problem
becoming
started
more.
occurring when I realised that the world wasn't 6,000 years old. That was the starting of it. That was the beginning of it all.
What? Why couldn't you
So
believe
taking
God?
acid I started taking acid when I was 16. Firstly, it was a party, and also it's like, is there a God? I'll find out if I do acid. You know what I mean? Did all of that. Then ecstasy came along, and that was all loved up, and everyone loved each other, and it was just nothing but love. It was like it was dancing and being happy, and I didn't have to think about what my parents thought or whether I should be following a Christian line or a Christian path. And then that led on to I went to America, and I went to Italy, again to try and get away from the obsession my family had about Jesus Christ coming back. The making me feel scared. They made me scared, whereas if I did an ecstasy tablet, I wasn't scared. I was enjoying myself and dancing. There was like a way of just closing my mind off from the pressure that I constantly had of the guilt and fear of, if I don't believe in God, I'm going to burn in hell forever. Because, well, I was told that when I was 7, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you will burn in hell forever. Do you understand the magnitude of that? Oh my God, I better get baptized then, Oh, make sure I'm not gonna go to hell. And I've spent many, many years with that horrible thought. Whereas other people have horrible thoughts about what could happen with their religion. Same with Judaism and Muslim. It's the same thing. Guilt and fear, built on guilt and fear. And if you don't, you're in big poo-poo, you see. And that's why I went and learnt it all. I wasn't allowed to go to religious studies when I was at school. So when children were learning about various religions at school, I had to sit out of that class because I wasn't allowed to do it because it was satanic. Crazy times. It still is like that. My family still is like that. My parents have been really quite awful with my niece, and told her that she's demonic. That was nice. Yeah. That's about 3 years ago. Yeah. See, that's another one. And inside your inside your meat suit, as it were, inside you inside, you're questioning this. You're questioning it. And even if you with it's the same with Christianity, you're constantly questioning it. My parents did do that to me, Deborah, because they thought I was crazy. My story is mental. I don't ever talk about it. But my parents did actually section me for 3 weeks because of the God thing. Yeah. I'd had enough, I'd had enough of them saying it all. Really horrible. Yeah. That was when I was about
Locked you in
25.
a room until you followed the Jesus.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's a
Let's
sad
ground
tale. But I've come out of it, and learning and using other religion and how they control people, I've been able to unpick my own life and my own trauma that I've dealt with regarding religion. And unfortunately, I don't see my family now because of it. But this time of being on my own has given me an opportunity to be able to actually work through it rather than hide it and suppress it. Especially Christianity is a difficult one, you know. It is a difficult one. Does that kind of answer stuff, Local?
Oh yeah. I thought you was a follower of Scientology.
No, the complete opposite.
Yes. Now I know.
Absolute opposite. Yeah. It costs hundreds of thousands of pounds to go through Scientology courses to get to OT8. And OT8 is Operation Thetan 8, which is the highest level. And that's where you find out that L. Ron Hubbard thinks he's Buddha. Yeah. So I've just told you all, you don't need to do it now. Thoughts on the monarchy? Personally, I am a Republican, and OT powers. I personally am not a royalist. They can go and fuck themselves with a large gold pole. They don't need to be the head of anything or any religion or anything. It's bollocks. Just absolute bullshit.
Well, we are living on their land, you know. They're letting us living on their land, you know.
It's nice,
So
isn't
why
it?
not? But why not? We have to follow their rules. We're living on their land. If they want some tax, we give you some tax, you know.
What about you, Age?
What's that? Sorry?
What are your thoughts on the monarchy and whether we should abolish it?
Oh, yeah, we should abolish it, yeah. Yes. It's 2024, isn't it?
Yeah, you see, with the monarchy, if we remove all the bullshit and they stay doing their job, making people come over and produce money and revenue for tourism, for example, nothing's going to change. People are still going to go to Windsor Castle. They're still going to go and look at Buckingham Palace. They're not going to stop doing it.
Yeah, like they do in France. Basically.
Yeah. In Denmark and stuff.
People are saying it's not their land. So whose land is it? Common land.
It's no one's land, isn't it? We I don't know. Yeah, it's just land.
I'm so glad.
Didn't the people of the land name their king, and that was it? He was the king of all the land.
Well, they won it by conquest, I suppose, isn't it? But then, oh man, this is going into history now. I can't be fucked. But, yeah. Just another cult. Someone imposed their power on other people, and then everyone follows it.
From the day you're born till the day you die, you're basically paying 10p a day. Every single person in this country pays 10p a day to finance our monarchy.
Did you know? In all the land of the world on planet Earth, yeah, you know planet Earth, the spot in the sky, the dot in the sky. 1/5 of the land is owned by the British royal family. 1/5, that's 20% of all the land in the world is owned by the royal family. That's a joke.
So would you abolish the monarchy?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know. It's their land. They do what they want with it. Innit? They tell you to get out, get off their land. Well, you got to get off their land.
So if Prince William becomes king in the next 5-10 years, because I think I predicted that I said he'd be on the throne for 5 years, and then he'd bugger off. What do you feel? Because you're of an age where Prince William will become king, and you'll see him, do a reign for quite a while. Are you excited about that? Are you thinking, oh yeah, Prince William's going to be king? It'll be King William the Fourth, I think, or fifth, or sort of something like that.
Maybe I'm thinking now that somebody's asked me a question like that, so it's got me thinking, to have a young king, what does that mean for me and the country, maybe even the world? So we've got a young king, so maybe he's a rule breaker, and he'll break tradition, and break protocol, and bend the rules a little bit.
King William the Cross.
Who knows where that will lead to?
Shit.
Yeah. So will it be the cult of Prince William? Will it be the cult of William? Will you be controlled and coerced to love and respect this man who will turn up at your, where you work, and you all stand there and shake his hand and think, oh my goodness, I've just met Prince William or King William, and I'm happy about that because I pay for him to have a lovely lifestyle and a wonderful life, and he's having a great time.
I met Prince Charles when I was about 12. I didn't meet him. I was in the same room as him, but our school went to meet him when he was
there this anticipation and excitement, and you get that feeling, don't you, inside? You're excited because something, this magical person is going to be meeting you, this person who's been on the television and has done all these amazing so-called things, and you're happy about it. Why is that? Why does that happen?
I suppose it's an ego thing. It's like, oh, I've met so and so. I've met this guy.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't bringing it from an ego thing. I was just saying I've met him. I don't know. I suppose a lot of people, it's all they got in life. It's to meet famous people.
Yeah, my parents were like that, They wanted to meet the next one up. Yeah.
They wanted to get up the status ladder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cult characteristics.
And have a private jet like that. Kenneth. What was his name? Kenneth? Forgot now. I'll have a look. The richest. He's one of the richest cult leaders in the world. I forget his name now.
More research is needed for some. What some? William is also W. Oh, right. I do believe that William is actually being a little bit political at the moment as well, from what I hear. he wants to eradicate homelessness in this country.
Kenneth Copeland. He wants to eradicate homelessness. I mean,
Yeah.
Saying it and doing it is two different things, isn't it?
Sounds familiar.
His mum actually went and did things, didn't she? She went and picked landmines out of the ground, and I know it was probably like it was all safe-ish, but she actually did things, whereas Charles has done fuck all. Unless you like hunting.
He's been brewed to become this man that he is now. But there are people, you know, sat who will watch, you know, royal TV, and they'll see, you know, like my mum buys OK magazine, and they're all in it, and what they're doing, and the revenue that these people produce is insane. It's absolutely insane. Where is Kate? I believe she may have had a hysterectomy. That's my personal opinion on that.
I think my cat is literally giving birth right now.
Okay.
It's in contractions, I swear.
Oh gosh. I hope you've got her in a safe place, Age.
Yeah, she's in a little box. But she's proper in contractions. I think the waters are just broke. There's water everywhere.
Entertaining.
That's why I've been quiet for the last hour. I know I've actually enjoyed listening to you and learned a lot.
I hope so. I hope people understand what those characteristics are, and how people are coerced by a better life, you know. The carrot that they dangle in front of you. I feel bad now because your meow meow needs you.
No, it's all right. I'm sat here with her now, like stroking her.
Okay.
I've got my headphones on.
Oh, bless her. And again, excuse my forthrightness when it came to Cage, but sometimes he, you know,
it's all right.
he can waffle so bad. Just make shit up. Thanks for having me, Local.
Thank you for jumping on.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Sorry I was late.
And yeah, I'll see you on the 13th of March.
Yeah. I'm actually quite excited. It's bright clothes.
London,
yeah, it's in London this time rather than St. Hill.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm also in April going to be kicking up a stink in a Zoom meeting in East Grinstead with East Grinstead Council. That is the plan in April, because they're being paid off by Scientology. So we're working on that little number. So it's all good. It's all really good. All positive, you know. Try and win this. Anyway, thank you for having me, and have a good evening, everybody.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. I'm waving. Let me know about Meow Meow Age.
Yeah, I will do.
Okay. Bye, everybody in the chat. It's so lovely to see you all, and thanks for the questions. And if anybody needs any more support, or feel that they may be themselves in a situation like that, you can contact me via Local, because I speak to Local a lot. We speak most weeks, and if you feel that you're in that position, then I'm quite happy to help you with the support and how to manage and understand how to get out of your situation. So one love, everyone. Catch you later.
That's
Bye.
it. Whatever she said, that's it. Yeah. Oh, we've got a guest at the back. Keep the logo there if you can. Let's invite the guest on. See if it's the guy. Hello. It says you're Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Hello there.
Oh, hello, Danny.
Hello.
Hi.
Everybody, it's Danny Shine. Hello, Age. Danny Shine here.
Anything on cults you could add?
Yeah,
We were just
absolutely.
talking about cults.
The worst cult of all is the cult of natalism.
Yeah, definitely. That could be considered a cult.
Yeah. And most people are in it.
Well, everyone's in it.
Yeah, we're all in it. Yeah. And it's completely contradictory to any type of scrutiny or common sense. It makes no sense at all when you actually deconstruct it. But we've all been totally and utterly brainwashed into that cult.
The DNA, would you say that our DNA has brainwashed us? Or
Yeah, our DNA has, it's not the DNA that's brainwashed us, but the DNA works in the background to use us. And it kind of, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not human DNA, but it sort of facilitates and allows anything that makes it chances of replicating itself possible, and therefore it spreads, you know, it spreads natalism, and it allows natalism to spread with all religions, and just to everybody. It's sort of, it's difficult to explain what I mean here, but your DNA is, the whole purpose of our DNA is just to replicate itself. It's a mindless virus.
So hello, I'm back. Sorry, someone was at the door. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. So the cult of what did you say? The cult of DNA?
No, natalism, the cult of natalism.
Oh, the cult of natalism. And what about it? It's a good idea, right?
We're all in it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all here because of it.
Correct.
Yeah, we're all waffling about it because of it.
Yep.
How are we
Sadly.
going to get... We won't be able to get away from it. It's always going to
No,
be
some
there.
of us, a few of us can. but not many. You might be able to. Never know. There's still a possibility. You managed so far.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
But what about you? You've been a naughty boy. So has the age case.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, yeah. Too late for me.
And probably so has most of the chat, the viewers.
But not for you.
No. I'm the only good boy here, the only smart one. The only one that's got some common sense.
Someone says here CRISPR was the worst invention mankind ever made. Rubbish. It was the best invention. Yeah. Look here, someone said everybody needs to learn what gene drives do. Absolutely.
So Danny, there's a few questions here that I've got that I was asking ex-cult members. Are you any chance an ex-cult member?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Of what? Which cult?
Of Orthodox Judaism. Of the cult. There's another cult actually, which is the cult of statism, which is people who believe in the state, people who believe in authority, people who vote. These people should be locked up. Anyone that votes should be locked up, being accessories to the crimes of politicians.
So how did you first get involved with these cults, and what initially attracted you?
I mean, I was brainwashed in the cult of Orthodox Judaism since I was a tiny little child, so that was that. I was also brainwashed into the cult, into the statist cult. You know, I was led to believe that the state is a legitimate thing, but it's not. It's absolutely illegitimate.
So you was born into it, yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't understand why, for example, why a state is illegitimate. Do you? Do you know why a state is illegitimate?
I have to think about it. Age case?
What do you mean by illegitimate? Like not real?
Well, it's definitely not real. It's just a story, yeah. But it's illegitimate in terms of, well, I'll explain to you what I understand by it. I read a book which I would highly recommend everyone to read, which is called The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose. You can get it for free, I think, as a PDF. And in it, he explains very eloquently, and he puts it very well. I'm not sure I can do it justice, but I'll try. That the belief in authority is a superstition, and that if you start from the basis, although it's nothing's ever this simple, but you need to simplify. I think we need to simplify things to be able to make the point. But if you start from the basis that in order for us to live together, yeah, nobody has the right to initiate violence against another person, yeah, and if anybody does initiate violence against you, you have a right to defend yourself. If you start with that premise, and then you examine the behavior of people who hide behind the mantle of government or corporation, they're both illegitimate. You'll see that government people who do things under the guise of government that are completely and utterly frowned upon, and we would be put in jail if we did them ourselves, just as individuals. So, for example, taxes, right? Taxes is armed robbery. You know, nobody has a right to go around to your house with a gun saying, if you don't give me money, doesn't matter what it's for, if you don't give me money, then I'm going to put you in prison or shoot you or whatever. No one has a right to do that. So just because they're in a government, whatever that means, just because they're behind this word, the story of government, doesn't mean it's legitimate. Same thing with drugs, for example. Nobody has the right to interfere with your choice to put something in your body. And if I did that, if I just did that on my own back, if I went round to your house and stole your cannabis and put you in jail and gave you a bad name for doing that, I would be committing multiple crimes. Yet government and police do that type of thing. How is that legitimate? And they were, like Mrs. J says, they were conditioned at school. School is the way, is where you get conditioned into the cult of statism, the belief that a state is legitimate.
I think before you go to school, maybe your parents.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
But school just
solidifies it.
Crushes any other belief that
Correct.
you might have.
Correct. And in fact, school is also an example of illegitimate authority, right? So, for example, I tried with I should never have sent my children to school. I think that was after the mistake of having them, the next biggest mistake was sending them to school, right? That was a terrible mistake, right? Because what they teach you in school is that's where they also teach you by example of they legitimize illegitimate power, right? And I tried to get my children to refuse to go to detention. Nobody has a right to detain anybody else unless they're being violent, right? But they learn to go to detentions in school. They should never have gone to detentions. That's an example of training them to listen to authority, which people don't really have, illegitimate authority.
There is nothing else to do in this world. So what?
Sure, they do detentions, by the way. They do detentions. They don't all call them reflection rooms, but it doesn't make any difference. If you don't have a choice whether to go there or not, then that is detaining someone against their will, and nobody has a right to do that. I mean, think about it. If I just went up to a kid, just as a bloke, and said, right, you're going to now sit in this room for an hour, I'd be locked up for that. That's kidnapping.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go, Local. But,
I'm going as well. Nice to see you guys.
It's been good chatting.
Yeah, take care, man. Thanks for jumping on.
That's all good. Thank you very much. Oh, he's gone already. Peace out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 3
nice
hours.
chatting to you, Age, today about cults. I think we spoke about it a little bit. History of cults, infamous leaders, names of cults, and cult characteristics. Yeah. I think we touched on all of them today. So, yeah. Sorry for the delay with the live stream. But we're here now doing it, and we're now ending the show. Any last words?
Peace out.
Any last words from you, Age?
Don't join a cult.
Don't join a cult. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Have a good evening. Have a good week. And speak soon.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody for jumping on. Cage, Token, Mr. J, and Danny Shine. Thank you to everybody for taking part. And yeah, I'll see you all on the next one. Take care, everybody.